What is up, you happy hustlers out there? Cary Jack here, and welcome to day one, baby. This is persistent personal development. I really think this is the cornerstone of being a happy hustler. You have to be growing every single day. And that is why we have a system for growth. But before we get into all that good stuff, I want to read to you the quote of the module, and that is, self-awareness is to personal growth as gasoline is to fire. And that is an anonymous quote. I just like it because I really think the secret to growing is being self-aware and knowing where you need help. And that's why we went through the 10 alignments of being a happy hustler, where you can quantify exactly which alignments you really need to focus on and where you're potentially out of balance. Because that's the ultimate goal. Getting back into balance, getting back into flow, to being really happy and creating a life of passion, purpose, and positive impact. So let me ask you, first things first, do you have a system for your personal development practice? No? Yes, maybe. Maybe you do, maybe you just don't know it. Well, this is the system that I use, that I've taught to hundreds of other happy hustlers out there, and I really see this as the cornerstone of what allows me to get better every single day. So I want to share it with you right now. And it's really not rocket science. It's honestly just becoming a student of life, learning from, every situation and every person that I encounter, from the garbage man to the boardroom executive. It doesn't matter. I learn from everyone, but I also have a system that I set up that helps me grow. And here's the system. I'm going to break it down. Okay. First things first, in the morning, I create a 30-minute uninterrupted reading regimen where I read a self-improvement book, a business book, something, maybe to do with spirituality, something that fills my cup and adds positive knowledge and inspiration and education into my world. So 30 minutes are non-negotiable in the morning. I read every single morning, at least for 30 minutes. And that is the first step in this 3-part system. Now, the second step is in the afternoon, I listen to at least 30 minutes of a podcast or maybe a audio book, but I listen to something that educates and inspires and entertains me that is related to my goals at that given moment, okay? And it's important to make these things related to what you're currently going through. If you're learning how to start your online sales funnel, well, maybe you want to listen to sales, funnel marketing podcast. It just depends what you're after. It's really important to listen and control that input and keep adding to your skill set for that particular knowledge that you need to be accruing. So the third part is in the evening, I create at least 30 minutes of time to watch something visually stimulating or educational. Maybe it's a documentary, maybe it's a movie, maybe it's a YouTube video. It really just depends. But I get, away from those meaningless Netflix series. Not saying I don't enjoy a good Netflix series, but I get away from it until after I fed myself that 30 minutes of positive, educational, inspirational content. And it is something of value that not just, maybe is entertaining. It has to be valuable content. Like, rom-com movies, nope, those don't count. Watching like funniest videos on YouTube or whatever, the guys who do all the trick shots with the balls, doesn't count. All right. You have to watch things that actually add value to your life, educational, inspirational, of course, hopefully they're entertaining as well. So that is the system that I use to grow every single day and really focus on my personal development, because this is where actually I often pull a lot of inspiration from. We're all standing upon the shoulders of giants in some capacity, and really whatever you're out there attempting to happy hustle for, there has been someone in the past who has most likely accomplished it in some capacity. So you can actually reverse engineer that process. Choose your mentors wisely. Figure out who speaks to your soul that actually is doing what you want to be doing. right? And then reverse engineer that process and learn from them, absorb their content, make that part of your system. You got the 30 minutes in the morning of reading, 30 minutes listening in the afternoon, and 30 minutes of watching. Maybe fill those 30-minute blocks with something from one of your digital mentors that actually speaks to you, that actually is where you want to be. So really focus on controlling the input, okay? Now, and another really important side dish to this module, which is actually investing in yourself. Now, you've invested the time into this course, the journey, 10 days to become a happy hustler, and I'm so grateful that you did. But ultimately, you really can't stop here. You have to take action. Ask yourself, when was the last time you went to a conference? Like a networking event maybe, or somewhere where you learned from someone who was more knowledgeable than you. Like even if it was just a lunch and learn, when was the last time that you went? Right? And if it's, maybe a couple months ago or even a year ago or two, you need to reassess what you're investing in, because this is where you can really exponentially grow and personally develop yourself and your skills by shortcutting your learning curve and really absorbing content from people who have done what you want to do. So I focus on investing in mentors, coaches, courses, seminars. Those are the big ones, right? And, obviously conferences and seminars, it's a synonym. So, going to the top 4, usually I'd go to 1 a quarter, at least, like a conference a quarter. And hopefully I'm absorbing, 1 course online every month. That's, something that for me is a pretty good frequency. But maybe for you, if you're in the, hungry growth stage, maybe it's more. Maybe if you're already, got severe cash flow from your business and you need to just double down, maybe it's a little less. But figure out the frequency that's best for you. But by all means, make sure you are investing in yourself and mentors and coaches and courses and seminars. That's how you can exponentially grow. And this will really help you in the long term. You have to just be aware that not everything is going to really just catalyze your growth. You're going to have to figure it out, along the way. Maybe that lesson from that course didn't really land. But it's okay. You keep learning, you stick with it, go all the way through the course. And especially if you've invested in it, follow through, because nothing we're doing happens overnight. Like nothing. You have to be okay with that delayed gratification, and especially with personal development. You really have to look at the long term, like the compound interest of all these little lessons, all these little podcasts, all these books that you're reading, all of these, little things that just add up to who you are today and how you can really positively impact the world. That's what it's all about. So a couple resources that I want to share with you in regards to, personal development is just, The Compound Effect. That is an excellent book by Darren Hardy. Lewis Howes has a pretty good podcast. I like it. The School of Greatness podcast. He's all about personal development. Another person who I like to follow is Tom Bilyeu with the Impact Theory. These are some great resources that you can use to really increase your overall personal development game and, learn from people who are out there putting good in the world. Now, rest assured, it is going to take time to really become an expert in your field, but every day you could be learning, and this 90-minute system of growth really will catalyze exponentially your results and ultimately your success. So that is the main meat and potatoes for this module. You'll see more in the coursework, but essentially having that 90-minute happy hustler system for personal development every single day. I mean, at least 5 days a week. I attempt at least, 7 days a week. Well, not at least 7 days a week, but 5 days a week, for you. If you're feeling froggy, add the weekend in and really focus on getting that 90 minutes in on Saturday and Sunday as well. But at least Monday through Friday, you need to make sure that you're crushing it and implementing that 90 minutes of personal development. That is essential. So there you go. That's the meat and potatoes of this one. I hope you got some value. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.